What is up, ladies and gentle nerds? It's your boy Graham, also known as Hamhawks42 on the internet, and we are here today with another exciting installment of Overthinking MTG, the show where we look at a card from Magic the Gathering and talk about it way too much. All right, so we're on the Gatherer. Let's go ahead and click that random card button, and what did we get? We got a Crazed Firecat. Okay, interesting. This is an older one. It's from Torment. It's an uncommon. So here we go. Actually, let's see. It looks like this is only printed in Torment. Interesting. Art by Ron Spears. I feel like that's a name I've seen come up a couple of times. Anyway, so Crazed Firecat. It is a creature cat, 4/4 with converted mana cost of 7. So it's 5 red and a red. All right, so we got a red cat that's I haven't read the rules text yet. So we have a red cat, low stat line for its mana cost, 4/4 for 7. So it needs to have some pretty great text in the, pretty great rules text. Let's see what we got. When Crazed Firecat comes into play, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Put a +1/+1 counter on Crazed Firecat for each flip you win. Oh, okay. So if you hit a crazy streak of luck, this thing could get, well, I mean, it could theoretically become exorbitantly huge. Like this could theoretically be a 30-30 or a 50-50 or a 27-27 or whatever, because you're guaranteed for a 4/4, and then you have to flip a coin, and each time you win dictates where it goes. So this is a crap deal. I'll tell you right now. I would never play this in anything unless I'm running a deck specifically built around coin flips. And the idea behind that deck is going to be doing silly chaotic stuff. And the reason for that is not because the design is flawed in any particular way. The idea of a creature that gets +1/+1 counters based on the number of coin flips you win, that's kind of fun actually. I have no problem with that. The thing about this particular one, though, is the mana cost. It costs 7 for a 4/4. The general rule of thumb, generally, and I think it's funny that that's the expression I just used. I'll get into that in a second. The the general rule of thumb with these, some of you guys know where I'm going. Anyway, the general rule of thumb, the stat line with creatures is the power and toughness should equal the mana cost. It's like Grizzly Bears is a 2/2 for 2. That's fine. Like that's just your average down the middle okay value. That's kind of become the norm. You have your 1/1s for 1, your 2/2 for 2, 3/3 for 3, 4/4 for 4, etc. So if this was going to be an okay, just down the middle, perfectly acceptable card, it would be a 4/4 for 4. Or a 7/7 for 7. Well, for this, in order for this creature to come in as a 7/7, since its mana cost is 7, let's look at what that takes, because that is going to give you a okay creature for the mana cost. In order for that to happen, you need to flip 3 coins and win every single one of those flips. Certainly not impossible, and it feels, just I have a feeling if you're the kind of person who doesn't mind the idea of gambling and likes taking a little bit of a risk and enjoys that thrill and that excitement, a creature like this could be fun for you to play because as you flip, because 3 coin flips it doesn't sound like a lot, but statistically, you have a 50-50 shot on every single flip. So the chances of you winning your first flip, 50-50, and then you only get a second flip if you win the first one. Like there's a decent chance there's a 50-50 shot you are gonna pay 7 mana for a 4/4 cat, and that's all you're gonna get out of it. So let's go ahead and assume that you hit that first flips. Okay, so you have hit your 50% probability. Okay, cool. You have a 50% probability on the next one. So there is only a 25% chance, because there's half of the half. There's a 25% chance that this thing is going to come into play as a 6/6. 25%. That's it. There's a 75% chance that you are going to have a 5/5 or lower. Gross. That's disgusting. I understand that by by nature of probabilities, you never know. It could balloon out and get a lot crazier, and that's going to result in some pretty crazy plays. Um, but it's just way too expensive. So at 7 CMC, there are 1,000 better options. And not to mention that this isn't, I mean, the number of formats this is legal in, it's basically commander only at this point. Unless you're, I understand there's some legacy decks that have just weird payoff finishers. The one specifically called Nick Fit. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it's the way that it functions, as I understand it, is it basically locks down your opponent, and then you just get to play big, dumb, whatever the hell you want kind of cards. Who knows? Maybe this would be a great middle finger to your opponent if you actually killed them with this thing in a Nick Fit deck, because yeah, this just sucks. Now, my comment about thumbs earlier, the reason that I found an especially appropriate turn of phrase is because of an artifact from Mirrodin called Krark's Thumb. There are a number of commander players who built decks specifically around flipping coins because of this particular artifact. It enables it in a really cool, interesting way, and that is uh, whenever you flip a coin, so when you have Kirk's thumb down, it's an artifact. I think it costs 3, and it's a goblin's thumb. That's actually what it is. It's like it's a goblin's like disembodied thumb. And when you flip a coin, if you lose that flip, you get to flip it again once. And so when you have that down, it doubles your likelihood of um, it. Actually, I guess I don't know if it's a full perfect 50-50%. I never took advanced placement stats. So, they're probably, when it comes to probabilities, I don't, I know the math is complicated, and I know it's complicated enough so that I know that I've probably misspoken as in the course of this discussion. But what that does is it dramatically increases your likelihood of getting a success. And so when you have a dramatically increased likelihood of success, all of a sudden, something like this, the payoff isn't so bad. Now, if this was a 4/4 for 5 with that ability, this would be a completely different conversation. I'd be like, okay, it's kind of weird, but oh, cool. That could work. If this was 3 generic and 2 red, then all of a sudden this would be worth rolling the dice on. Well, we're flipping the coin on. You could, there's a, because then in that case, there's a 50-50 shot that you're going to get something that's at least decent value, for its size. The other way that they could do that is they could change the power and toughness balance on it. So instead of being a 4/4 for 7, or if they didn't want to make it a 4/4 for 5, make it a 4/2 for 5. So if I lose my coin flip, um, then I have a creature that is significantly lower than it should be. Um, and if I lose my first coin flip, shock could take care of it. Like shock could get rid of this thing. So okay, the moment that you hit that 2 toughness or lower threshold, that becomes really squishy. And so then you end up with a situation where no matter what happens, I've got a creature that at least has some punching power. Might not be a lot, but it's something. And then if I win some coin flips, not only do I have some punching power, but the guy might actually live. Um, that would be another alternative way of addressing this. As this stands, this is kind of it is a fun mechanic, and there's a place for some casual fun shenanigans with it, but it's just not competitive because the other thing that this does not have is trample. So if you do manage to hit a insane streak of luck and you actually get a 9/9 or a 10/10 out of this, which it's a cat, which is just still fun. Like of all the creature types to just get like huge and weird, it's a cat. It's not even an elemental cat. The artwork shows like this gigantic. Well, to be honest, if the creature type wasn't cat and the name is Crazed Firecat, I wouldn't know that this creature is supposed to be a cat. I would guess demon or elemental. It is a very large clawed figure that is clearly erupting in flame, and it's got these 2 human handlers that have put chains around it somehow, and they're clearly trying to control this big flaming beast. So, all right, I mean, it's an interesting. I like the idea of the huge, powerful creature that has been enslaved, kind of rancor like. That's interesting. But overall, yeah, so like, fun coin flippy things. If you have a Crux Thumb commander deck, then okay, then you might as well be running this. I also understand that there were two partners from Battle Bond that each had coin flip abilities. If they're your commanders, hell yeah, like why not? This could get silly, and yeah, flip some coins. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you're looking for. But in the end, if you get a big creature, if you get a big 9/9, you get a big 10/10, the sucker doesn't have trample. And so your opponents can just chump block it all day. So if you do manage to finally get 7 mana down, best case scenario, you have one big creature that can get chump blocked. If it had trample or hexproof or first strike or just something, then okay. Or even or flying actually, that could be pretty cool. And I know flying isn't super common in red, but it's there. There's no reason that this couldn't have been a dragon or something. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there were a lot of opportunities here, and this feels like the kind of thing that they didn't know how powerful this effect was going to be, so they upped the mana cost just a little too far to make it playable. Yeah, like I said, if it cost one more beyond the stat line for this ability, I wouldn't be too mad. Or if it had a considerable amount of keywords on it. If you added some keywords to increase the value, then okay. Like you give this thing hexproof, and all of a sudden we're talking about a control finisher, and like, let's go. That sounds great. Um, with kind of this fun chaotic element, it's either going to be a 4/4 or a 15/15. Strap in. The thing that allows is for crazy weird events and crazy weird moments where something just fires off perfectly and like 10 times better than you think it's going to make for some of the most exciting moments. I have no doubt there are some people who played with this card way back in the day who have stories about the one time their buddy no, for real, man, he won 10 flips on this thing. I have no idea how the hell he did it, but I was looking at a 14/14 and just there was nothing I could do. It was insane. And it's like, and I was playing my best game and I just didn't have any removal in my hand. And what you gonna do? I guarantee there are people who had that story around this card. So that's not nothing. There's something to be said for that. But at the end of the day, it's just you know what? Actually, here's the place where I would put this. I would specifically put this card and cards like this in commander decks that are intentionally powered down so they could be more casual, and it fit with lower powered pods. That's where I would put this. So if that's something that you are interested in, something that you're looking to do, if you have like a play group of newer players or people who just don't have access to a wide variety of cards, and you want to play some commander and have some fun plays, then something like this could get you there. And there's a decent chance you just played 7 mana for a 4/4, and you're gonna just kind of go, man, and that's gonna be that, and that's fine too. And if you and your friends can all laugh about it and have some fun playing a game, rock on. That's ultimately what we're all about. So let's see. Checking real quick. This thing does have some flavor text. The longer it's caged, the madder it gets. Firecat handler. Yeah, okay. That fits. And do we have any rulings? No, no rulings. All right, guys. Well, it has been fun, as always. This has been the Crazed Firecat, the uncommon from Torment with a goofy coin flip ability. So, rock on, guys. A pleasure as always. I do stream every day, every weekday morning, 5:30 to 6:30 over on Twitch, twitch.tv/hamhocks42. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you there. And otherwise, I will catch you right here, wherever you're listening to this, tomorrow with another edition of Overthinking MTG. Thanks. Catch you later.